Dumelang batho ba etsho ra le amogela gape mo lenaneong la rona le bitswang Rise. Rotlhe re kile ra dira dilo tse re kileng ra itshola ka tsone, and tonight we want to talk about mistakes, how to deal with them, and most importantly, how to bounce back from them. Dumelang le lona ba gaetso ba bantle. Thank you very much. Before a similar conversation ya rona ne, mo today's insert, our team went around the country and spoke to young women about their mistakes. I
would say a mistake is when you do something wrong, but unintentionally.
In my opinion, mistake and a mistake
it's something that it just happens, Jay.
Something so
mistake
It's something that you do and you regret.
Life-changing. Yes, I have.
Yes, I have had many mistakes in my life before.
Yeah, I wouldn't say life-changing, but I've made a big mistake.
Yeah, I have.
Night I get a poso kile ka utlwa ekere kore kile ka feel guilty for poso ke dirileng.
It made me feel bad.
Feeling like disappointed abantu labaningi empilweni yami.
Empeleni, you feel terrible, but the good thing about it is that I was ufunda kuwona. I've learned how to forgive myself. I've learned how to be more careful. So next time I know. I think everything happens for a reason.
You can't learn unless you make mistakes in life. So you learn with your mistakes. Especially it's very hard though to apologize, but yeah, I have.
Yeah, I kile ka admit, but after sebaka se se telele ke tsile nako e telele gore ke admit gore tse ke se dirileng ke phoso.
Motho o ne ke ntse phoso go gene ke ile ke kupela mitshwarelo and then re sharp no yana.
Not all the mistakes, but some of the mistakes.
Well, sort of. I'm in the process. To a point I have.
Because you have to live with yourself. Before expect
You know what I like? But the thing about being young is that you feel like you're invincible. And with the mistake it's
well, in my invisible man days, my mistake, let me think of a big mistake I made. When I was in matric, right? I applied for one school and one school only in the States, and I told myself I'm going there, I'm not even gonna apply Mochaye. And then the next year, I couldn't really get sufficient funding, and I was stuck. And it was too late for me to go to any institution. So there I am in January with the distinctions, and I am stuck at home. And yeah, mommy did say, the experienced ones did say, let me say it like that, apply to more than one in case this goes wrong, but you know, and I thought, no, not quite. You know, parents always come with that thing, I told you so, you know what I mean? And I think it's on that's what makes it exceptionally
difficult. But part
difficult.
of why we say how mameli is that as mutswadi, as is because all we want is so that you don't make the same blunders that we did. But unfortunately, youth are just determined to make their own mistakes.
So the point is, developmentally around what is youth. Youth is also changes. Do you know that the brain, Boko, is not fully developed until 25? Wow. So how no, developmentally, it's developmentally how it is. So you are right in saying but we must also have an understanding. Bacha are probably going to get into things they shouldn't be. Ke age ya experimentation, whether ke ka bojwala eng. Bothata bo nna ke na le mbone ke gore one go na le diphoso tse dintse e leng gore ga o khone go you know, that can have serious ramifications. Ga o itse gore go na le basimane ba bantsi yang ba ke kopaneng le bone ba e leng gore ga ba kgone go bona tiro ka gore ka tsatsi le leng o kile a tsamaya le ditsala e be ba mora ba re o tswa chocolate eo then o dutse ka criminal record ya chocolate.
Moyenza, I'm a mistake. Don't you learn from that mistakes? You know, isn't it positive in some kind of way? Which, okay, let me do my own mistakes, and from those mistakes, an experience, I'll also be a wiser older person like yourself.
I don't know if people go out to make mistakes, you know, so I don't think anybody goes, but what I want to, it's not just, because most mistakes, and the reason why they are mistakes is because they're not planned. But I want to ask, the long-term effects. Are the mistakes that we cannot bounce from? Because what this show is about how to bounce back from the mistakes. Are there mistakes that you cannot bounce from?
I became a mother at a very young age. Why understand the name?
Sure.
And that's how my life was defined. I was a mother. And the thing that I found out, which lasted much longer than the 30-second orgasm, was the fact that you can't post them back, these children. But it is what you do with the thing that you have done and the consequences. You know, I like a saying, you can either use your story to create pity, or you can use it as a pedestal to reach greater heights. And that is, for me, the difference between bouncing back and wallowing.
Hey,
that is bouncing back.
If you look at the confess, I must say, some of my most ridiculous mistakes, and I've got a few, but some of the ones that are very difficult to bounce back from are the ones that have something to do with excessive drinking.
I went to a party, and unfortunately, when I came back, and
no petty blood.
And it was very embarrassing. I was embarrassed with myself. But then I had to forgive myself so that I can ask for proper forgiveness. Mean it, I can bounce it back, move it on. Yeah.
As long as we can all learn. A young woman who will tell us about her life, the mistakes that she has made, and how, most importantly, she has bounced back from them. Let's get a feel.
Reale amogela gape. Gompieno, Khomotso is joined by our guest, Lebogang Motsumi, on the couch. Over to you, Khomotso.
Thank you very much, Lebo, and welcome to another Lebo. Because as we know, Batswana are very lazy with those names.
Very lazy.
So, Lebo, you had your first pregnancy at 16. Yes. You terminated a couple of pregnancies. You got HIV positive, and ultimately, actually even lost your womb. How on earth does one recover and even bounce back from such huge, almost life-changing experiences?
Khomotso, I believe I'm still bouncing back, because if I said I've bounced back entirely, I would be lying to you. So I think it starts with actually some self-introspection and taking accountability of all these things that I've been through, because I can't blame, because I took a part in it also. And then obviously forgiving myself and realizing, look, I messed up, but then there's still a life to live. Look, I've got a daughter to live for. And giving up wouldn't really be the solution.
But at what point did you know that, man, Maratsele made a mistake, man? You know, is it something that it happens overnight? Or is, you know, what had happened and where did you hit almost like the tipping point where you thought, like, I cannot keep doing the same things over and over again?
I think my turning point, I got pregnant with Mika, and which was in 2010, if I'm not wrong, or 9. And Mama uitokana, look, ke go this chance for your skolong. If you mess up here, I can how, you know? And I had to sit down and be like, okay. So I did a lot of self-introspection, and I looked, okay, fine, you did this, you did that, but what now? I still had dreams, you know? I still had dreams. I wanted to be whatever it is that I wanted to be at the time, because now my dreams changed over the years.
Mine is still changing, girl.
So I did that, and I thought, look, I want to go to school, I want to graduate, I want to make my mom proud, because she's worked very hard to bring me up as Lebogang. And at the same time, I want to make myself proud and be someone in the the society.
How much did the opinions of others count in your life before coming to this point?
I think it was more about go impress ba bang because ne ke batla go feta into a certain cling ko sekolong. It started all in high school. Ne ke batla go ba cool because my background didn't say Lebogang is cool. I don't know if that makes sense, but because of the kind of background I came from, ne ke sena self-esteem. I had very low self-esteem. And I thought, look, I've got these friends and if they doing this, I might as well do it because it seems like the cool thing to do. And if I've got a boyfriend and I'm having sex with a boyfriend, then Lebogang is recognized as being cool.
So it was how the background the difference ya gago le batho ba eno ile gore lona go nna le phua.
Not poor, I'd be
Okay.
lying. You know,
Okay.
my mom's a domestic worker. I can't say we were poor because she got me whatever that I needed, not what I wanted.
Sure.
You know?
Sure.
And I
No sa
can't...
tshwara ke tlala.
Next tshwara ke tlala. I
So
have
e ne ke-
captain,
e ne
I had
leng-
everything.
e ne leng ge
The
ne le
difference
farologane.
was I lived in the back rooms and they lived in a big house. I didn't understand that. I'm sharing a room with my dad, my mom, my sisters, and I'm thinking something's wrong with me. I was not obese, but I was bigger. And automatically you are not cool because you're bigger and you are a geek. You know?
It's a lonely feeling.
It's a lonely
To feel
feeling.
so isolated gore wena ha o tshwane le ba bang.
I get one le ba bang.
So batho ba ne le gore o batla o tshwane le bona ne ba le yang.
I know gore most of my friends, their parents had very good careers to say. One was a doctor, one was a nurse or whatever. And they lived in your North Cliffs and whatnot. And when I would go to their houses, they have your nannies and whatnot. They've got these huge TVs and life was just good. And I thought, and when I go back home, it's a small room with my mom, my sister, my dad. And it just didn't make sense.
Go na le taba ya shame then and humiliation that helped prompt some of the decisions tse e leng gore no di etsa.
Yes.
So what is the role that shame and humiliation played in your decision-making process?
I remember I would lie, my mom is an air hostess.
Wow.
And I think the shame actually, when I'm with guys, and I would be dating this matriculant or whatever, sort of like the shame would be covered up because now Lebogang has been seen as this cool person and nobody actually knew who Lebogang was. I'm the only person who knew what I was going through. My friends didn't know that mom was a domestic worker. My friends knew nothing. Okay, the obesity was obvious,
Right.
that I was big,
Right.
but then everything else was being covered up by, oh, this weekend, and this happened and that happened. So it didn't matter. Everything else was just covered up by this mask.
How, Lebogang, have you reclaimed your life and identity back? And identity being back to the core and not somebody o e leng gore you're modeling yourself after or that mask. Ke eng ntho e leng gore o e entse gore o reclaim that identity?
One thing, again, that helped me is I started actually talking to her. My mom's a domestic worker, and I was very surprised that half of my friends, their parents are domestic workers. And I was like, wow, you know? And another thing is I actually noticed or actually learned that Lebogang has got a purpose. I was brought into this world for a purpose, and that purpose has to be fulfilled no matter what. And that obviously through reading books, through listening to certain people speaking and whatnot. And I regained my identity by actually loving myself, because I didn't respect myself, I didn't love myself. And I had to learn how to love Lebogang. And it's not only about dressing up, putting on roll on and smelling good. It was with accepting my big ass, accepting my big tummy, accepting gore I've got small eyes, whatever the case is. I had to then look at myself and say, look, I'm different and this is who I am, and Lord, nothing is going to change.
Ke mang a go support-ang go golo go gaisa ba botlhe and ba go fa yang support eo?
Mama can support that a lot. I think over the years, my mom has been my rock. I've done so much to my mom. She had every right to actually kick me out if she wanted to, but she has always stuck by me and said, "Ngwanaka ka o rata." That's what she'd always say. She still says that today, you know, I love you no matter what. And I think now with Mosebetsi Okwetsang, she is also my pillar because she has seen the kind of work I'm doing and the kind of effect it's having to the community. So she's also, she's wow.
Ke eng e leng gore advice e go e fang batho batjha ba e leng gore basetsana ba e leng gore ha o batle gore ba tsamaye mo tseleng e wena o e tsamaileng, bearing in mind gore before re simolola mo showing re buile ka gore batho ba bantšha ha ba mamele and ba nna gore ba di tseba ka ofela ke bo tsibinki, but if one of them is listening to you, tsibinki,
but there's always
mamela
that one
molaetsa.
person.
Sure.
You know, I always say, "Gore, it's all good and well, it's nice to have sex, I'm not gonna lie. At the end of the day, sex is about you and having monate o. And really fitting in is not all that. Because half of the people that you try to please have their own little skeletons that would actually scare you at the end of the day. You don't have to live your life by pleasing other people. It's your life at the end of the day. And trust me, using a condom is the best thing you could ever do.
It's the only thing you can do and must do. You know, if you're going to insist on having sex and you want to have sex, you're entitled to it, you know? But if you do it without using a condom or any kind of contraception, particularly a condom, then you're making already a decision that you are most likely...
You're opening up.
Not going to recover from.
Yes.
But listen, thank you so much. Or that you can recover, but there's always big consequences. Lebogang, thank you very much for joining us and sharing your story today. Re tla le bona morago ga papatso. O ska ba itshwara remote eo.
Welcome back. Gantsi re akanya gore ke rona fela ba re dirang diphoso, yet many other people experience similar situations. I mean, our guest's story, it's like the story of so many, you know, young people, and yet she is managing and she's in the process of bouncing back.
And actually, I'm sad to say that I say batho ba mantšha fela. Wa itse se gore ha o fitlha mo dingwageng tse di itseng, all of a sudden it's o halalela. No, it's because you make these mistakes, you learn from them hopefully, and you try to move on. But what I love about Lebo's candidness is exactly to remove that stigma and that shame, because most of us re tsamaya ka shame le khala re tlhabiwa ke dikhala because we feel filthy for the stuff that we have done.
But you know, Khomotso, my biggest issue ke taba ya gore society re penalize basadi more for the phoso tsa bone than bashimane. In fact, o ka re gona le expectation ya gore oh, men will make mistakes. Le ga ba le bagolo, ai ndoda phela. Mara wena dare you put one foot wrong. However, for me, the blessing in there is the fact that if you acknowledge and you forgive yourself, you are better off to say, I can bounce back, rather than plaster it on. Because I tend to feel sometimes they are just plastering on, you know, it's like, go there, band-aid, give me a band-aid, give me a band-aid, until it just bursts.
You know what, now when I made my mistake and many other mistakes, is that in Tibela or to move on at times, nearly because shame or I'm feeling guilt, or you know, I feel like I'm disappointing so many other people, you know what I mean? And it's that pressure to be perfect in Mpola most of the time.
And that's why we hide our mistakes. If I do a mistake just because I wanted to seem like the pretty little girl, you know, in daddy's little eyes, I'd hide it because of the shame I feel, you know.
And go disappoint
though, ke suspect gore basadi we are much harsher on each other than we are. Le bone dintho tseno di bua ra mafoko gore ke banna ke ntho tse di buang ke basadi do tseo, you know, ke dilo tse di buang ke basadi tse leng gore ra rotloetsana le rona gore mosadi e tshwantse gore e be lengwe loyi, and if the woman steps out, then our sins, we get stoned. There are countries in the world where women still get stoned for their so-called aberrant sexual behavior. So Rona, we may not stone you but we stone you with our words, in the things that we do and how we judge you and with what we say to you and about you.
Yeah, but I guess Khomotso, the opportunity na le yone ka di Rise Clubs for na, if they are successful, ke ga di tlabe di create a safe space for gore basadi le batjha in particular can come and say, you know what, I'm actually interested in same-sex relationships.
Sure.
And I think for me, how ka create di club tsa rona, go khona gore whichever kind of a young person is, aga khona go di joina, then you will know these clubs are antoing. Because we also do not want to create, unfortunately, and you know, Jesus was a very good example. Everybody, tax collectors, and yet, how those are the very most discriminatory places. So we need to transform Lidi Club Kotsa Omosadi Omostokfele. Are discuss about I re ga motho a tla ka blue eye go na le gore o re khanye o re o bona Khomotso You must say, what is the number ya power? Are we discussing domestic abuse in our community? I hope our clubs do that, but I also hope the clubs across the country, very belong a support system for each other, because not everybody will have a strong mother like Lebo. Not everybody will be able to go to counseling or whatever. The services but we can all belong to places that are non-judgmental and supportive.
But then how do you also remove that judgment amongst ourselves and abanye abantu?
Well, I think it goes by speaking out, like stories like that. It also speaks by, and I think that is what I like about what Lebu is doing. You know, that thing, you can speak up. I struggled when I had a number of my issues, including in my adulthood, domestic violence. But I just felt, it's actually good that you can stand up there and say, you know what? I've also been emotionally abused in my relationship. It frees so many other women to come out.
It's about not owning the shame, Mbali.
That is true.
We cannot own the shame. Because it's about sebi. Hey, if I were bolaile, why is it? And that's what it is. Sebi seo isono isibi Mbali. It's the shame. It's the shame that we carry inside. And here's the thing. The worst shame we put on ourselves. You already feel the eyes. Before somebody even judges you, we judge ourselves much worse than anybody would have ever done. And that's how tradition and culture and religion thrive, because we punish ourselves more. And in order for us to feel better, as I've said before, we shame other people. So as soon as you get rid of sebi and also admit her, you take away anybody's ability to bring you down.
I think the worst form ke ga o bona o ka re mocha o irile phoso e ga gane mare ebe go sena support e leng gore ya mo rotloetsa to do better, and that is the issue.
Hey, it's been a fascinating topic. Our women is speaking about this particular issue. My co-host, and for joining us this evening. Remember that you make mistakes, they do not make you. Bouncing back is always a process, but one that is worthwhile. Remember to follow us on Twitter, share your thoughts with us on Facebook, and Mix It Reach. From all of us in the studio to all of you out there, bye. Woof, woof.